Why, hello everyone. Welcome to Redneck Ways. How's everybody out there in YouTube land? Well, I hope everybody's set fine and dandy. Not doing too bad, guys, here in Old Kentucky. It is Sunday evening, and I'm out here tinkering around on this old 1970s Bolens riding lawnmower. And I thought I'd just bring you guys along and show you some of the plans I got for it, and kind of join me here in my little mini junkyard. I've got to get a lot of this stuff hauled off, and I got some treasures here, but I got a lot of junk too. So I'm thinking about taking this here because it's super light. It's for one of those little electric, I forget what they're called, Hoover boards, and you set on it, and it's got a seat here. But it's super light, and I'm thinking about making like a backpack type deal out of it. And when I go up to the dump to dig for my bottles, my marbles and stuff, I'm going to put a floor in the bottom here, and then I can just put my shovels down in here and everything, and it'll be, I could either wheel it into the dump or just use it as a backpack, because it does have straps here. You can just wear it on your back, because hauling all those shovels and everything, and a bucket and everything, it's kind of, sometimes it gets a little not easy, but I don't know. One of my friends gave it to me. He had it in the back of his pickup truck, and he's like, the kids ain't using this no more, and he knows how I am. I usually try to recycle or repurpose stuff, so I'll see what I can do with it. It is super light, and it has inflatable tires on it, so we'll just see. But it'll probably have to go for everything else. I took another microwave apart. I got the parts out, so I need to get that all taken care of. I discharged the capacitor, so nobody would get hurt on that. But anyway, back over to the lawnmower, guys. What I am going to do with this, when I bought it, it had no engine, and so I'm going to use a Honda. I'm going to use a little Honda motor. I've got a few of these little Hondas just sitting on a shelf, and they all run great. So I'm trying to just have a little fun with them. So I've got this. This is the biggest one I have here. It's a 600 series, I believe. Let me see. Or 200 series. But I think it's big enough to operate this. And now the bad thing is, way this Bolens set up, the drive train, the belt for it is right here, and the PTO for the blades is way up here. In my shaft, I'm only going to be able to get the drivetrain hooked up, because I'm going to have to actually move the pulley for the PTO for the blades. I'm going to have to take that off, and the motor is going to come all the way up to here and come into the drivetrain here. So that's what I'm going to do, and I've got to get my son to weld me a bracket on here, because the boat hose does not match this little engine. So I'm going to have to take this off. I got a plate of steel, and we're going to have to fix that. And I'm going to have to see what height. I think I'm going to buy my pulley first and put it on. That way I can match it up with my belt. We can raise it up or take it down, whatever we have to do when we make our brace. And after that, she's ready to go. I mean, I went through the transmission. This has the posi rear end, and you can take it out. You can unscrew this and take it out of posi. But for some reason, it is stuck in, I can't get it in neutral. So that's kind of a pain. But there's something going on down here. Somebody who owned it before put a radiator clamp on it, and they got that piece of wire. So I'm thinking that might have something to do why I can't get it in neutral. But it does go in forward and reverse. So I got that take care, and you could turn the drive shaft, and the back wheels turn both ways. So the transmission's working. I just can't figure, there's something I'm missing. I cannot get it in neutral. But I'm not going to do anything to the rider that will keep it from ever working the blades again. Well, all I'm going to do is take this pulley off and save it. And then we're going to weld a plate on here, but we'll just put some, you know, spot welds strong enough to hold the little engine. And if I find I think it's a Wisconsin motor that came off this 1970, they only made this 1 year. It was the only year they used a Wisconsin motor or engine, and then the rest of it, the motors was Tacumish in 1971 and on. So it's kind of a rarity, because if I had the engine it would be great, but I don't. But this thing is built like a tank. So what we're going to do today, guys, I've got to tighten this up because somebody had been already in here trying to figure out the neutral situation. So I had to put some new bolts. I had to put these little things here back in all together. So we got to tighten that up. And I'm going to take this seat apart. I'm taking the fender wells off because I just need the metal seat. That's what we're going to put back on. So I'm going to just eliminate this for a while. I'll keep it in case I find that old engine. I can put it all back to original. But right now we're just going to have some fun with it. So let me get this thing ready so I can get it over to my son's house and get that welded and get the pulley on. And we can start riding this thing, have some fun. My purpose of using it here is I'm going to put a ball on it, and it's going to help me move my boats around when I need to cut grass and stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. And I've already came up with, I think I'm going to paint it red. Red and white, which somebody had already paint the rims white. But I think I'm going to go with like a fire engine red. I'm not for sure. Or I may go back with this red. I do need to order a headlight. One of the headlights was busted out, but they're online for $9, so I'll get that taken care of. And I'm going to paint this white in this area here, and paint the grill white and the rest red. And I think it'll get it looking pretty sharp. And it won't have to get it over to the car wash and pressure wash it and get it cleaned up. So let me get you guys on the tripod. And like I said, we're going to tighten up the gear shift first. And then I got to put all the bolts back in the transmission. Let me see if I can get y'all over to the transmission so y'all can take a peek inside there. There's this one piece here. There's this piece here. And it's got a little pin in it. And I can't get it out. So it makes it hard to actually get this up. But you can lift it up here. There we go. There's the transmission. It looks really good. Everything shifts good. It only has forward and reverse. That's all speeds it has. So now I gotta get the gear shift back in where it goes. There we go. Forward and reverse. Forward and reverse. Make sure it's in, because we're gonna put the boats back in. Well, I gotta get this tight first. Let me get you guys on tripod. All right, guys. Let me get that tightened, and then we'll put the boats back in. I hope everybody had a great Sunday. Let me get this. Yeah, somebody had these out. They was trying to figure out probably that neutral. I think I was going the wrong way. There's that one tight. There's that one getting tight. Alright. Now all we need to do is get that back where it goes. May have got two times. Forward, reverse, forward. Need to put a little oil on that. Let me get a little drop of oil. Make sure that's all working before I tighten all the bolts up. Alright, let's put a little oil here. Forward, reverse, forward, reverse. And then that should be neutral, but neutral ain't working. Okay. Alright, we got that. So now all we gotta do is put these transmission bolts in. I wasn't going to do this tonight, but I don't want any water to get inside. I don't know why I had to take them off, but we did. Vehicles go in here. It's a rail made like out of rails. It's weird. I never had a lawnmower made out of rail and tubing. That ain't wanting to go in. Why that won't go in? Well, evidently it ain't the boat. Should be. Huh. Finally, it kind of started. One over here. One mower. Where's the washer? It ain't it. And I just lost that one. Okay, there's that. And then we have a bunch of these. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I did. Just been tinkering with stuff. That one, but this one over here, I don't think it has one. If it does, it's probably got a gasket blocking it. It had a gasket, piece of gasket kind of blocking a little bit. Then we got these up here. It has a bunch in the rear for the rear end. Last one. Alright. So now we need the wrench. Alright. Let's put these in. Which I could get my drill and put these in real quick, but how much fun is that? Yeah, we're not definitely going to see this run today, but I thought I'd start videos on it, and we'll do videos here and there. Now, 4 of these I can't put in right yet because it's for the seat. I need to take 4 of these out. I forgot about the seat. But I think it's going to be a pretty cool little piece of machinery. And I definitely need something to move the bolts when I cut grass, so I can cut underneath them. And maybe one day I can find the original motor and get the blades turning too. They're not locked up. This thing has so many grease fittings. I mean, back in the day, they really thought of everything for the customer to service their machinery. And I'm sure this was on a farm somewhere. Very robust, built just like a tank. And I'm not kidding about that, guys. It is built really strong. Let me give you guys a little different view there. Try to keep my arm out of everything. And we're tightening this up. But it definitely needs a little love. And it definitely needs a little Redneck Ways designing and custom. I'm going to get to the car wash one day soon. Get it, put probably about $10 worth of grease, degreaser on it, and get it clean. Because anytime you touch it, your hands get black. I'm just glad I got the gear shift back in and working. Forward, reverse. Forward, reverse. Make sure it's doing the right thing. I hope it didn't slip out of there. Alright guys, I got that in. Just going back and make sure it's good and tight. And we're good and tight. And we got forward and reverse, neutral, and it's staying in the hole. Forward, reverse, neutral. I'm going to put some tape around that. It's stripped on me. Let's put a little black tape around that, see if we can get that to tighten up. Let's put a little black tape around it. See if that'll take thread now. There we go, just like new. Forward and reverse, all you have in this machine. Alright. It's getting dark on us, but I think we could take the seat. And I want to take the spring off. This thing weighs about 30 pounds just by itself, just the seat. But I'm going to take the bottom part off of the seat because I want to get rid of this fender. So that's what we're going to do next. Oh gosh, it's heavy. I got to find the socket for it. That's it. Let's see if we can get this off. Everything so far has had never sees on it. Everything's came off pretty easy. Yeah, it's coming off pretty good. I don't think it's turning. Let me see. Yeah, it's coming off. This one off. I think it's just going to look pretty cool without the fenders. But I will keep the fenders. And I wish I knew somebody that had one of these that needed a deck. Because that deck is in, I'm telling you, in great condition. I really wish I could get the thing lined up for me to use. Take this off. Just this alone weighs about 10 pounds, guys. Take that off. Let's see if we take his seat off. The seat came right off. We'll set this back here in the back. And what I want to do, guys, let me get you. I'm going to take an old seat cover off. I think you could order these new seat covers, so when I get it painted and when I go to order the headlight, I may try to order a seat. This just comes right off. I was going to try to make my own, but that's a little bit more than I want to take on right now. Here this old cushion is, I mean, it is in bad shape, guys. You can see how bad it is. It's all stuck. I wonder how many farts been in this thing. That's a seat full of farts right there. Looks like wet farts. Oh. Need something to scrape it with. But anyway, there is our seat. It's in really good shape. The metal, it's really, you know, it's not rusted out. It can be cleaned and will look really nice. I'm just going to take a little cleaning. But anyway, now let's put the bracket back on. Just like that. Let me get the nuts and washers. Oh, I don't need that bolt. Got 2 washers and a bolt. I don't need them. I need the 2 washers. The nuts. They're acting like they don't want to go back on. Alright, there's that one. Why doesn't that want to go back on? see if I have any other bolts. No, that's not it. This has to be it. Why don't it want to go back on? Let's see if I can enforce it. Wait a minute. That ain't the right nut. Because the nut is still in here. Here's the nut. It's still in the socket. There we go. That's why it didn't want to go on. Okay, there's that. Now all we gotta do is put it back on the rear end. Somehow the steering wheel got bent. I was going to try to bend it back, but I was advised maybe not to try that because it may break the plastic off. I was going to take a hammer and try to bend it back, but this has either got rolled or something. Alright guys, let's see if we get the seat put on. And I think it will go right back on here. Pretty easy. It has some 4 bolts. Oh yeah, that looks really good without that fenders. Yeah, I just gotta find these bolts. Alright. Need to put 2 in. Get these started. Okay, I know you can't see very well. You can see these back bolts going in. That's about it. Alright, got that one started. Got that one started. Socket was that? There we go. All right. There's that one. And there's that one. I'll get them other 2 off camera. Alrighty guys, there we go. We got the seat on. And it's just bad. It's just bad. I love it. Like I said, it's got to be cleaned. I got to scrape it. And it needs painted. When I paint everything, it'll get painted. And I may, like I said, order. You can order those tractor cushions. So that's no biggie. But this goes on the back too, this little tray. But I'm using it for the boats right now, but it actually, I forgot I should have put them 2 boats in yet, because that goes right like that. And that way you have a little thing to put your hammer or wrench, whatever you're working on the farm back there. And I don't know, did I show you all the motor we're putting on this? We're going to be powering this with a Honda. An old Honda. It came off a pressure washer. 2500 PSI pressure washer. And I'm just trying to get it running, guys, to move my boats around. And have some fun while we're at it, painting it and getting it running. And the next video will be on welding. Get us a bracket welded up here so we can mount the engine. And my boy, I want to see if he don't care to do that for us. So it might be a couple days before we upload part 2 of this video, but we'll get to it. Alrighty, guys, I hope you all had a great weekend. I hope everybody's doing great. I hope everything's going your all's way. Until the next one, I'll see you right here, Redneck Ways. Bye, guys. Man, I love that seat. They just don't make things like they used to. That's for sure.